Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, providing more than 41,000 jobs in the production of wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details at choosewood.com.
We hope you enjoy listening to this podcast of St. Louis on the Air, brought to you by University College at Washington University. With undergraduate and graduate programs, part-time, evening, and online. University College at Washington University, offering world-class education within reach.
Welcome to St. Louis on the Air. I'm Don Marsh. One of the great things about our region is the food. Plenty of good restaurants and good food. Now there are more. Time for our monthly hit list segment. That's when our friends from Sauce Magazine clue us in on what's new and hot in the local restaurant scene. Joining me in studio are Heather Hughes, Sauce Managing Editor, and writer Matt Sorrell. Thank you both for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Singing the blues over the Lou Fest, Matt?
A little bit, yeah. I'm actually working on a story that'll be out today on the impact of the cancellation on the restaurants involved in the event. Yeah, so it's a lot of people's kind of scrambling right now.
Yeah, and a lot of business is going to be lost, Heather, because thousands of folks come to town just for that and look for places to eat.
Well, and the restaurants plan enough ahead of time. They have huge orders in. They have a lot of product that's going to hopefully not go to waste. There are several places who are running deals this weekend to try to help that a little bit. Second Shift Brewery is going to have $3 pours. Steve's Hot Dogs is doing some hot dog deals for Lou Fest ticket holders. And then Urban Chestnut actually said that they're going to waive the vendor fee for any Lou Fest vendors who are going to participate in their Oktoberfest on September 28th and through 30th, which I think is so nice. Yeah. It's like these guys, especially the smaller ones, it's enough of a buy-in that they really count on making that money. It's like it's not just the loss of the customers; it's a lot of money invested that's going to waste.
Speaks well for the industry and the collegiality that do us with. Okay, we've got a lot to unpack here in the next few minutes that we've got. Let's begin with about 6 places to talk about today. The first one is Cinder House, and Heather, that's your baby, isn't it?
Well, that's nice of you to say. That's Gerard Kraft's baby. The chef owner of the Niche Food Group has partnered with the Four Seasons Hotel downtown. Cinder House replaces Cello, which was formerly in the same space, but they totally redesigned it. You would not recognize it walking in. The redesign has this gorgeous marble bar. It's really big, tons of seating, lots of bar seating separated to the dining room. It's really, really beautifully done. And the food is South American leaning. Cinder House, obviously, there's a focus on wood fire cooking, so lots of steaks, things that you might expect, but also something I really liked was the lamb ribs are super savory and rich. Everything's done in at a high level that you'd expect from a Gerard Kraft restaurant. We're really excited to try that out. One of the other things that I really love was Dia's cheese bread, a Brazilian cheese roll that you can get as an appetizer. It's like there's really strange texture. It's very starchy and stretchy.
Sounds delicious.
It's very good.
Sounds delicious. What about Baker's and Hale, Matt?
Well, Baker's and Hale is the baby of Chef Rex Hale, who used to be with Boundary and Basso at the Cheshire and 360 downtown, and his business partner Kelsey Baker Walden. It is a huge place out in Godfrey, Illinois. Used to be a sports bar called Rotten Apple, and they have completely revamped it. So it's got about 60 seats in the dining room, 75 seats at the bar, an outdoor bar area that's got another 120 seats. It's focused on seed to spoon type dishes. So the majority of everything they serve, the ingredients are from either their own gardens on site or from purveyors within 50 miles of the restaurant itself. So everything's very fresh, very creative, and it's just a really huge space. You can have a really good time.
A lot of that seed to spoon concept going on these days, isn't it?
Absolutely. In fact, they have plans next year to actually buy some more land and have a bigger garden area to supply the restaurant.
You've also got Shared Suite. Is that right?
So on a completely different note, Shared Suite, it's a small place in Olivet on Olive Boulevard that specializes in desserts and bubble teas. So if you're familiar with bubble teas, some people call them milk teas or pearl milk teas. These are made with little tapioca pearls inside, so they have like a nice little pop to them. They're really interesting. This place does some really nice ones. They have an Oreo version that's really great, and they have cheese teas, which kind of taste almost like sweet buttermilk. Really, really nice. A little savory, a little sweet, and they also have some dessert options as well. Ice creams, some waffles.
Sounds
Very
delish.
nice.
Sounds delish. Hot dogs back in vogue, hey?
Yeah. Mike's Hot Dogs, Soups, and Sandwiches opened in University City. It's just a small hot dog shop, mostly hot dogs with a bunch of different toppings you can get. They do a Texas-style chili, which is mostly beef, not as bean-focused. We really liked the Polish sausage, which is topped with fried potato, sauerkraut, caramelized onion, and spicy honey mustard. It's just a great Polish sausage. They use Red Hot Lou hot dogs, which is a local all-beef hot dog provider. So pretty simple, but really good.
Nothing beats a good hot dog or bratwurst or any of those things,
Absolutely.
I feel that way.
particularly at this time of year. Mm-hmm. And you've got another one, Heather.
This
Cones
sweet
and
shop,
Cups.
Cones and Cups in Benton Park. It's a really small, locally owned place. They make their own ice cream. They have about a dozen flavors, and almost half of them are dairy-free, which is pretty great. We tried a couple of those. An Oreo cookie with a coconut base instead of normal dairy ice cream, and it tasted just like a Caramel Delight Girl Scout cookie, we thought, which is a good thing. The pineapple coconut is also dairy-free, and that has lots of like juicy chunks of real fruit. And the normal dairy ice cream is also great. We like the praline pecan, and they do milkshakes and obviously cups and cones.
How do you guys keep so trim? I mean, you're testing all of this.
God, I don't know.
Things.
It's a battle.
You do it well. Yeah, it is for all of us.
You
but
learn to
guys-
take small bites.
It's not the size of the bite; it's the frequency of them. I think that really,
Right.
really pays off.
We do have ice cream hour every afternoon, basically.
Oh, well, now you're talking. Alrighty, Hopcat.
Yeah, so Hopcat recently opened in the Del Mar Loop on Del Mar. It is in the space that used to be clothing retailer Soul and Blues, which actually moved down the block a little while ago. It's a Michigan-based company, and they specialize in local beer. So they go in and they usually have a ton of taps. They have over 100 taps. Most of them are Missouri beers in this instance. They also have a really extensive food menu that a lot of times chains get, hammered for not having the best food, but they have some really good stuff there. They have something called crack fries, which is, despite the sort of unfortunate name, they're a seasoned French fry that are really delicious. They also do Detroit style pizza, so like the rectangular deep dish style pizza. Stuffed burgers. They also have a lot of room. There's about 145 seats inside. A big rear patio, which is unusual for the Loop. That seats about 70. They have a little game room with foosball, private event space. It's really a nice setup.
I actually thought we were going to get through this segment today without mentioning pizza, but I guess that's not that
Almost
is not
impossible
to be.
to do.
Almost
Yeah.
impossible to be. A few seconds left. What are you guys working on for the next weeks or two? Anything special coming up?
Right now, my big focus, like I said earlier, is I'm putting together some stuff about Lou Fest and how we're going to be able to kind of recoup some of the losses from that. As Heather said before, there's places doing special events, but also there are a couple of vendors. Mike Johnson from Sugar Fire is talked to him this morning, and he's in the process of putting together an event, hopefully at the Boathouse this weekend, where a lot of people can come and sell the food that they didn't get to sell at Lou Fest.
I don't think I mentioned Schlafly is also doing a deal with their Hop in the City festival for Lou Fest holders. You can get a discount and a free beer with a wristband or a ticket stub. So there's lots of
The Boathouse should be
news.
accessible this weekend because a lot of people aren't going to be in the park.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you both, Matt Sorrell and Heather Hughes, for being with us. Good to see you, and
Well, thank you.
we'll talk again soon, I'm sure. That's it for today. Tomorrow on St. Louis on the Air, we'll talk about the issue of clergy sexual abuse in the Catholic Church, talk about the Archdiocese of St. Louis plans for a Mass of Reparation, and we'll discuss alternate modes of transportation for Metro East commuters now that the MLK Bridge over the Mississippi River is closed for a year. Podcast episodes of St. Louis on the Air are available at stlpublicradio.org. or you can subscribe for free on Apple Podcasts, the new Google Podcast app, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. St. Louis on the Air is a production of St. Louis Public Radio, 90.7 KWMU. Thank you for listening. I'm Don Marsh.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, providing more than 41,000 jobs in the production of wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details at choosewood.com.